to Athletics LLC with Lamar, Lucious, Big League Chew, and my man Clyde. You're about to be schooled in all things track and field. This is experience. Yes, sir. We are talking past, present, future. Y'all listen up. Let's go.
We're recording, we're on and playing. It's meat week for some of us. It's meat week. Not for that guy.
Some of y'all.
That guy. Yeah, not for that guy.
You three in the middle.
Wait, no, that guy doesn't have anything.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere either, are you? So it's me
just yourself by yourself, baby girl.
Just me. Well, that's gonna be a great question.
Bit of a change of plans, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna divulge anything, but we were gonna go to Texas A&M, and then now we've been rerouted to Arkansas. So that's been.
And you just divulged everything.
No, I didn't say everything. Just we changed our schedule. So. But very interesting. Welcome to the Power 5, True. Welcome to the Power 5, because that can happen. But anyhow, welcome to Athletics LLC, y'all. It's going to be a fun night. It's in the air. I feel it. I feel it. So let's start off by saying hello to these lovely tiles that have joined me tonight. I'm going to need an explanation on this one. Lamar, Free, Ryan, Krauser, Huffins. How are you tonight, sir?
Oh, we're gonna let it be broke later. Trust me.
Okay.
My name will make a ton of sense.
Okay.
If I could have got a shirt made soon enough, I would have been wearing it.
I mean, there's always a Sharpie and a white tee, sir.
And look, evidently the World Athletics just absolutely doesn't give two blanks about the field events.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Look, here we go.
There you go. Clyde, how are you this evening, sir?
I'm here for the shenanigans. Let's go.
What are those? Just kidding. Governor, how are you tonight, sir?
Oh man, today is Wednesday, but it feels like Friday.
Right.
I'm just underwater. I'm feeling what these kids are feeling right now. I'm trying to, yeah, exactly.
Just doggy paddling the way through.
I'm ready for some educated and uneducated banter. Ready for it.
Last but definitely never least, Sir Lucious, how are you this evening, sir?
I am rolling.
Love it.
I am rolling.
Love it. Well, welcome all again to another fun night of, as the governor put it, fun banter. So let's just kick the show off, as we always do. As the Facebook fam knows, it's chaos time. Ever so eloquently, right? Eloquently coined by Clyde there. I'm just going to leave that wide open for you to step through, Clyde. Go for it.
Well, I think we might need to defer to, I can't take full credit for here, to Mr. Lamar, Chaostradamus, as we will call him right now.
Wow.
Because, things are lining up exactly how me and him perceived it. And if you have not seen it, UGA sitting at number 1. I do have a question for later. Who is UGA beat this year?
Everybody.
Everybody on their schedule, as you guys love to say.
Everybody on their schedule for sure.
Exactly.
Michigan, as predicted, jumped all the way up to number 2. Mm-hmm. Alabama sitting at number 3. Cincinnati in the death chair, waiting execution at number 4. Oklahoma State sitting at 5. And a coachless Notre Dame sitting at number 6. And just for the record, in case you missed it, there was a report out today from somebody on the committee that said coaching and player availability is a part of their consideration. So just understand, folks, Notre Dame is DOA, and this is all about Oklahoma State. And so, as we go into championship weekend, somebody on this panel is going to have a pie in the face moment next week. It may be 2 of us. It may not be. We'll find out. but it looks pretty good from what we all, not all, said was going to happen.
All I've ever said was that Cincinnati was going to be in the top 4. Cincinnati's still in the top 4. So until Cincinnati comes out of the top 4, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, young fella. I don't. I am see because clearly you throwing barbs at me, you and Notre Dame, whatever the heck you called that dude. I mean, come on. I mean, so if you're throwing barbs at me, I'll take the barbs, right? But all I'm gonna tell you is this: is that I've said this all along. Cincinnati's going to be in the top 4. You're still in the top 4, so I'm not wrong yet.
No, you're not wrong yet. But I do have a genuine question to ask you, sir.
Well, yeah,
because
here we go.
I
you know what? I promise you, I'm gonna give you a phenomenal answer.
Because I believe you see it. I believe you see the shenanigans on the rise. So whatever happens this weekend, there's a lot of things that could happen. If Cincinnati wins their game and ends up out of the top 4, you say what?
I will be extremely disappointed. But I will take my L like a man because that's what I do. But here's my thing, right? I have, especially over the last 5 weeks or so, tried to delve into this as much as I can. And the more I delve into it, you just got a bunch of people sitting in a room spouting their opinions. And that's all it is to it. So in their minds, they're trying to get what they perceive to be the best 4 teams in the country, right? The problem I have with that is, like, who made these 12 people judge, jury, and executioner? Like, who decided that these 12 people, and maybe I'm misstating the number of people in the room, who made these people like the authorities to decide who the best 4 teams are? So the process is extremely flawed. And I hate to say this because I know Clyde's going to jump all over this. We need more teams. we need more teams. Like, next week, we need more teams. And so, like, as again, the more I look into this, it is very, okay. I'm just going to paint a scenario for you, right? So the only way Alabama gets in the playoff is if they beat Georgia, or, remember now, the old guy told you this. You can shake your head all you want, okay? Cincinnati's still in top 4. If they beat Georgia or if they tie Georgia, they'll get in. If they lose to Georgia, they got no shot. But in a crazy, chaotic world, these 12 people could sit in there and go, is a no-loss Cincinnati team really better than a 2-loss Alabama team? Mm-hmm. Now, there's where lies the problem. So I don't buy into the conspiracy theories that you guys do, but I have turned the corner and I'm running rapidly across that street that the process is greatly flawed because it's totally human-based and it's not good.
I would like to, on behalf of all chaos lovers and conspiracy theorists on the planet, welcome you to our street. You're not quite on the bandwagon yet.
Never gonna get on that bandwagon.
But when Cincinnati wins and Oklahoma State wins and Oklahoma State passes Cincinnati and Cincinnati's undefeated and outside the top 4, first of all, I'm going to say for the record, I have been saying since the beginning, I am rooting to be wrong. Cincinnati deserves
and you're going to be wrong, so you'll be good.
I hope I am. I'm just going to be honest with you. I hope I am. Cincinnati deserves the right to go play whoever number 1 is. They're probably going to get mollywopped, but they deserve that right. Because if you look at I told y'all 3 weeks ago, there was 5 teams lined up to pass them. Here's the great thing that's happened for Cincinnati. Michigan State lost, Wake Forest lost, Oklahoma lost, right? So 3 of the 5 suitors have gone bye-bye. Notre Dame's coach left like the Mayflower in the middle of the night. And so 4 of the 5 are gone. That's just what it is. Like, there's no way they're going to put a Notre Dame team that lost to Cincinnati without their head coach ahead of Cincinnati. That's not going to happen. So Clyde is correct. Notre Dame is DOA. Oklahoma State, however, Oklahoma State is literally a pit bull trying to get out of a cage into a yard full of female dogs that are in heat. Like, All they have to do is win a game.
Hey, look,
No, 'cause
Nostra,
that's what
whoever
it
you
is.
are, look, that is the dumbest thing you ever come out of that mouth of you. You're a Cal guy. You got to do
Okay,
better than that. Come
you
on.
know better than that. It's definitely not the dumbest thing I've ever said. But
This is true. The dumbest thing you've ever said. The dumbest thing you said tonight in regards to this. Okay.
It's early.
Oklahoma State. Oklahoma
Okay. So
State
all right. So
is a Big 12 win
I
away from being in
totally
the
disagree with you. But we'll see what happens. And I think that I love the banter. You know, and I I've kind of done my homework here. You know, I go to the odds makers, and the odds makers don't like Oklahoma State getting it at all.
I'm sure they don't. And this is what let me tell you something. This is what needs to happen in Cincinnati's world for sure. They need to all go get Alabama jerseys and pray to God. Pray to God that they're on the losing team. They cannot have Alabama beat Georgia because then they're for sure
So if they want Alabama, why would they go buy a jersey of a losing team? See, there you go. That's two.
No, he lost me on that one.
He lost himself on that one.
I meant a Georgia jersey.
Governor got to get
I meant a Georgia jersey.
Yeah,
because
Governor,
they got to
be
be
drowning. Governor, please say that.
Look, you understand? They need Cincinnati first of all.
It's the governor's
Georgia
floor.
to win.
Please get off the floor. It's governor's floor.
You can't kick me off the floor. What are you doing?
Chew kicked you off.
Well, Chris, first of all, thanks for having me on the floor.
That would be Lamar, sir.
Lamar. Thank you for having me on the floor.
Lamar is just angry at this whole process.
I am just so happy. I am happy that we are where we are because you have conversations within conversations. It is, I mean, we can sit here and bloviate all night about what's about to happen in the next couple of days, but how many of us really know? I mean, how long will it take in that Georgia-Alabama game, all right, for Kirby Smart to figure out, okay, this is Nick Saban. This is my guy, right? I'm just, the amount of chaos that could ensue on Saturday. I mean, I'm at a loss. I mean, let's not, I mean, and I'm going to say this, Sir Lucious, beating Houston is not a gimme.
I totally agree with that.
That is not a gimme for Cincinnati.
And that's an issue.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, because I'm with you for the chaos rant. See, this is the bit. I am on the chaos street. I am holding the other side of the chaos flag with Clyde on this one now. Okay. Yeah. I'm all for the daggum chaos this weekend. The problem I have is the chaos might happen to my boys, right?
I mean,
I'm on Chaos Boulevard with Clyde on this one. It's gonna be a chaos weekend.
and unfortunately, and this is the position that Cincinnati finds itself in. Everybody that's not Cincinnati, okay, or unless you're from the state of Ohio, is rooting for a Power 5 school to get in. There's still that stigma that's out there. And I mean, for me personally, I want to see this happen. I want to see Cincinnati spoil the party. I just feel like Oklahoma State, if they can pull that off, I am also on that bandwagon that they're going to jump over Cincinnati. And that is, it is horrible. And it's a travesty. It should never happen.
I totally agree with you on all of that. But here's the difference. This is where, and maybe my heartstrings are a little bit involved here, Ohio deal. But I really believe in my heart that if they thought that they were going to pull the shenanigans, they pulled it already.
Yeah.
Because hold on a second. I am entitled to my thoughts, sir.
You are, sir. You are.
My opinion. They could have pulled this already if they wanted to pull it. Because like I said, this is them sitting in that room saying, who are the fourth best teams in America?
Right.
And clearly they really believe today that Cincinnati is one of the four best teams in America, and they believe they're better than Oklahoma State. Now,
So
I
here's
do believe in a world
ahead.
now, if Cincinnati like beats Houston by a point, and Oklahoma State curb stomps Baylor, and I got it.
So, look,
I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest with you. I want to jump in there really quick. I just want to say this. This isn't even my idea. Like, this is literally me just paying attention to the way the narrative gets built every year. They started, and that's why I said it 4 weeks ago. They had all the planes lined up on the runway. If this one fails, we got plan B. So look, Oklahoma State wasn't, I promise you. Okay.
You can't promise me
yeah.
that because it didn't happen. Okay.
Oh,
So
here,
hold on a
look,
second.
you'll say that. Wait.
I
The first
hate to
time I
interrupt you, but
said
we've
this,
heard this rant, and it was ridiculous as it now as it was 5 weeks ago.
you say
So
that,
you
but if we
really
go back
believe
to the
in your
tape,
heart that this group of 12 people sat in a room and said, let's line up these 5 teams so they can jump Cincinnati.
you're not understanding.
really
They don't even
believe that?
have to have that conversation.
Hold on a second.
It is what
Answer
they
the
do.
Okay. And
What
I'm
I'm trying to tell you is, look, it's SOP. It's standard
I'm
operating procedure, right? And here's the big one. When I said this the first time, and I said everybody in the top 12 is viable, and I said except for Baylor. Guess what? Oklahoma State was 11 when I said it.
So what's your point?
My
You're still
point is that the runway
Okay.
was lined up for who was going to go past Cincinnati.
You know,
and look,
that
you
is
build the
really cute. It
Okay.
really is. And,
Look,
and Clyde's been
the
trying to
narrative-
talk for like 5 minutes now. So
the
please
narrative
let
is
Clyde
easy,
talk,
right?
because his narrative is going
Oklahoma
to be
State-
as crazy as yours. So
Oklahoma State just beat Oklahoma, and now when they beat Baylor, who's the number 9 team in the country, mind you, that same Baylor team who got whooped to death by TCU and dropped all of 2 spots,
Right.
because we had to make sure they were still viable for exactly what I'm talking about.
okay.
Listen, this is a nuanced conversation, but it's all there in print for you to see. You just have to look at the movement.
Well, I look at it, I just
patterns.
don't see the craziness that you guys see.
I'm gonna give it to you like this. I don't even think for some of these people it's a predetermined conspiracy. It's almost subconscious. The whole
It's
thing
SOP.
about, right, the whole thing about what this whole thing is about money.
Yep.
And they want the most lucrative situation possible.
Yep.
That's what they want. Now, all I'm telling you is this. We've seen it before the fake playoff. It goes all the way back to the creation of the original BCS. Okay. Every year, somehow, some way, the narrative starts in one place and it ends in the exact same place it always ends, with the word best being thrown around, because the word best is undefinable. Deserving is clear. You can get a playoff of deservings. You can do that a million different ways, and you can identify, like the beauty of our sport. Everybody complains about track and field, but you know who's going to nationals. Number 16, number 48. That's who's going. Ain't no ambiguity about it. That's the standard. This is all subconscious. It's all subjective. It's all fugazi, to borrow, Lamar's word. So all I'm saying to you, Sir Lucious, is this. When I say every year that I root for chaos, what that actually means for the fans of mine that have been rocking with Team Chaos forever, I root for the most ridiculous outcome possible to continue to expose how fugazi this whole thing is. So what I'm rooting for right now is utter chicanery. I want, see, Alabama doesn't really matter, because I'm telling you, if they win the game, they're in. If they lose the game, they're in.
They're
If
not
they lose,
getting it
they're
if they
in.
lose. They're not.
promise
I
you there
don't
is.
agree with you on
They're
that one.
not.
I
think
don't
if
agree
they-
with
I-
you either.
And stop
I
making
think the
promises.
only
you
way,
can't keep.
I think
I
the
promise
only
you.
way they get in, I think
Stop.
the only way they get in if they lose is if Cincinnati loses and Oklahoma
Yes.
State loses.
Yes.
Now, if
Oh,
they're the shiniest
sure.
of all, if it's a competition of turds, they're going to be the shiniest turd. You better
Yes.
believe that.
Sure.
Yes.
But I'm with you on all of that. All I'm saying, look, I root for the little guy. I want to see Cincinnati land where they should be, and 4 isn't where they should be. They're better than 4.
Yes.
Okay,
They
here's
are.
okay. Based on what?
Oh,
Because you keep saying who has so and so beat. Who has Cincinnati beat besides Notre Dame?
I'm glad you
And
asked
I'll
that
wait.
question. I'm glad you asked that
I'll
question because the lie, the annual lie of how we land here all the time.
No.
'Cause remember,
Let's get.
no, I'm gonna answer your question.
please.
I'm gonna answer your question. The how we land here all the time. What's always the narrative? Is the SEC gonna get 1 team in or 2 every single year?
Okay, hold on a second.
So-
But that's your narrative.
No,
We're not
no,
saying-
sir.
I
That's
need
on
you to
television every
answer
day.
Hold on a second. The question is and remains:
Yes.
who has Cincinnati beat besides Notre Dame?
A just of good of a schedule as Georgia has beat, and I'll run you through it.
Oh,
Georgia
boy.
beat Clemson.
Yeah, no, please. I wanted to go through the whole thing. Please, let's not do that.
UAB. Wait a minute. UAB. South Carolina. Vanderbilt. Arkansas. They beat Auburn. I consider Auburn to be a decent team. Cool.
That was a good win.
Kentucky. Florida. Missouri. And Tennessee. Charleston Southern. And Georgia Tech.
Okay, now my question to you is this. Okay, I heard you. Now, if you do the same thing with Cincinnati, it's worse. But
Is it worse though?
Hold on. Here's the bottom line. Okay, who, in your opinion, is the best team in the country? Because
That's
all
a
along
great
it's been
question.
Georgia.
I'm excited
Because
about
all
this
along
one.
it's been Georgia, but now all of a sudden it's going to be different this week because
No,
we got to change the narrative.
No.
So it fits your chaotic.
Listen, I understand why Georgia is sitting number 1
No,
because they
the
played
question
very well.
you don't do this very well, do you?
I'm
Do
I'm going to
you
answer your
think
question,
it-
sir,
Then
but you have to let
answer
me.
it. Then answer it. It's a simple Georgia.
I do not believe
Kentucky.
that Georgia is the
Alabama.
best team in the country.
Then who is?
I do not believe that Georgia is the best team in the country. And between this weekend and the playoffs, I think that will be exposed. I don't believe they're the best team in the country. I think the best team in the country is either Alabama or Michigan. That's what I believe.
Interesting.
Hmm.
That's
Now-
very interesting.
Hmm.
Michigan. Yeah, they're the best team in the
Yeah.
country.
Again, if
You
not
mean
now,
the same
when?
Michigan team that got curb stomped a few weeks ago by Michigan State? That same Michigan.
Hey, Michigan State's a hell of a lot better team than anyone Georgia's beaten.
Hold on a second.
anyone.
No. That's the team. You're changing the narrative. Okay, well, you know what? I tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you this is what's gonna happen this weekend. And then I'll come back on here and rewind the tape and tell you I was wrong.
No, wait. We don't need to do that yet, 'cause I'm about to ask you.
No.
I'm about to ask you the questions.
Okay, go ahead, ask me
We
a
got
question.
to get to the games.
Please do,
So-
because this other
So
stuff.
the SEC championship, who y'all got?
Oh,
I got
okay,
Nick
that's
Saban.
That's an easy one for me.
I got Nick Saban.
Until he's dethroned, I'm picking Saban.
It's Georgia on my mind. I got Georgia.
I got Georgia.
it.
I got
Ooh.
Kirby slaying the dragon.
It's
That's what I have.
time.
It's time.
It's time.
time.
It
So
is
y'all
time.
are on the if not now when train with Georgia.
No,
That's
I'm on
what
the Georgia's
Michigan
gonna
said
win the
last
game.
week, right?
That's what
And
I'm
that's what
saying.
he
That's
said
what
about
Michigan
Michigan.
said last
That's why I
week.
said it. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Okay,
go
I'm
with
cool.
Georgia.
Absolutely.
I'm with Georgia.
I got you. Okay. Big Ten championship. Michigan or
Stop it.
Iowa.
Stop.
Michigan going away.
Iowa.
let me tell you
in
something.
a big upset.
Ooh.
Michigan-
Somebody would do it.
Michigan found
Iowa in
the
a big
one
upset. First of all, I can tell you right
team-
now, and I really believe that Iowa can beat them. Even if they couldn't, I'm not rooting for Michigan. So you let that go, right? So, but I really believe Iowa's going to win the game. So.
Michigan found the one team that I am almost 100% sure they would never lose to.
I'm gonna say this. I got Michigan winning the game,
Iowa.
but Iowa can beat them, and it would be very Michigan of them
Yes.
to have a letdown after Ohio State.
So the unfortunate part about that part is that you are 100% correct. It would be very Michigan-like to lose to Iowa. The Big Ten would cry because then they would be for sure not to get a team in. But let me just say this for the record: I cannot possibly pick. I can't pick Iowa to win anything because if y'all remember correctly, I said and was right. They were the most overrated number 3 team in the history of rankings.
Mhm.
I cannot vote for them to beat anybody. It wasn't unfair because they got slapped this week.
Big 12, Baylor versus Oklahoma State.
I got my vote on no defense whatsoever. Bet the over.
Hey, look, I'm going just total bedlam, total chaos. I'm going with Baylor. I'm on a roll. I might as well just keep rolling.
Well, I can tell you this:
The odds right now is
minus
4.5 for Oklahoma State. That's what it is right now.
Yeah. See, you just made a very good point. Oklahoma State's coming off a very emotional victory over Oklahoma.
Yep.
Michigan's coming off this big, like, listen to the Michigan players talk, and they thought we've been waiting for this game for 365 days.
Yes,
folks, you still have more games to play.
Yeah,
but they're not talking about moving forward.
Yeah.
So I'm going with total and utter chaos. Michigan takes the L, and so does Oklahoma State.
Wow.
Okay. Which will lock Cincinnati in, baby.
Right. This is all.
Hold on a second. Now they got to handle their
lose.
business. They better not lose to Houston. They got a problem.
Wait, we ain't got there yet.
Wait.
Okay, my bad.
Who do you have,
Those
Governor?
2 things happen, and then Cincinnati loses to Houston, and Notre Dame is in the 4 without a coach. Yes,
Governor,
there's your chaos.
who do you have in the Big 12?
I have Oklahoma State beating Baylor, but it's going to come down to the last play. I'm saying it's whoever has the ball last. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm on that page myself. I have Oklahoma State.
On the if not now when for Mike Gundy and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Like they've had much better teams than this one.
Yes.
Can you listen? Gundy in the playoff. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I want to go on the record as saying, if Cincinnati and Oklahoma State both win, and they put Oklahoma State in, I'm not watching another game of football this year.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not watching it. If we talk about it on the show,
it's
Cincinnati versus
Houston.
Cincinnati, baby. Got to go with Cincinnati on that one.
Oh,
listen, I'm picking Cincinnati.
Yes.
I'm going for Cincinnati too. I'm just hoping
Houston's dangerous, man.
Yes,
They're
they
dangerous.
are.
Houston is an underrated team.
Yes, they are. They're much better than their ranking. Much better.
They're underrated, and man, I don't think if I believed that Cincinnati believed that they were actually safe, I'd pick them to lose.
Mm-hmm.
They can't believe that they're safe, so I believe they're gonna handle their business.
And Luke Fickle won't let them believe that they're safe.
Right.
He won't let that happen.
Right.
I'm just afraid that Cincinnati and Oklahoma State are both going to lose, and we're going to end up with a 4 of Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, and Notre Dame without a coach.
It's very possible.
Because it's very possible. Because look, here's the deal. If Oklahoma State and Cincinnati lose, Alabama doesn't have to win.
No.
Because they're for sure better than everybody below them.
Yes.
Even with 2 losses, they're better because nobody's going to pick Ohio State over them.
Mm-mm. How about that? How about Ohio State dropping to 7? That was
you have to be punished.
Sir Lucious, tell me about that. Why drop them to 7?
I can't tell you about it. We need to talk to your guys because when everybody else gets dropped like that, they got a problem with it.
Well,
when it's Ohio State, so they should get.
No, I can explain.
But when Oregon dropped with their second loss,
they dropped that
3,
far.
Okay, they did. They dropped from 3 to 11.
Right, they ain't dropped that far.
But you had a problem with Oregon being dropped, but you have a problem with Ohio State getting dropped. And Oregon,
I do have a massive problem.
Oregon got beat, which is why they dropped further. by a team. Like it was a 2 versus 5 matchup with Ohio State, Michigan.
Listen, I have a huge problem with Ohio State dropping as far as they did, but you have to understand why.
I understand why they dropped that. Look, I don't have a problem with it.
They dropped that far because at that point, they are out of the championship game for the Big Ten and can no longer do anything to influence the shenanigans that need to happen.
I absolutely understand why they dropped that far. I have no issue with that. So I don't know why
I have an issue with it. I have an issue with it because we all know that Ohio State's a better football team than Notre Dame.
Yes.
Oh my
you
God.
believe that Ohio State's a better team than Cincinnati.
I know that.
So you should have a problem with where they sit.
No, you know, I don't have a problem with them because we went up there and lost to Michigan, so they got what they deserve.
Okay.
Right. So there you go.
I'll tell you what this is what I'm really rooting for. No joke. I'm rooting for Georgia to win and Michigan to win. And Cincinnati will then move to 3. And Cincinnati will play Michigan and beat them.
All for that chaos, baby.
And then Cincinnati is in the national championship game against either Georgia or someone and gets beat by 40.
Cincinnati,
which I don't think will happen. Like for them to ever get beat by anybody by 40.
To be 2 or 3.
But I would love to see Cincinnati in the national championship game just to watch all the college football money grabbers. Just like, really, this is what we're doing.
Gosh.
That's right.
We got a group of 5 team in the national championship game. We don't even have Cincinnati like B-roll to put to fill in for the commercials.
Don't trip. The mullet from Stillwater is gonna get in there. Don't you worry. All right, what's next, Chu? What we got? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. There's a basketball game. The ACC championship. It's Pitt versus Wake Forest. Or is that not basketball?
Wow.
Are we picking that?
No. I mean, listen, not only was that was actually high quality petty, that was also incredibly funny because let me tell you something. The ACC is now in witness protection.
Oh my gosh.
Literally nobody cares. Nobody cares. But like they have told the ACC, just tell us who won. We'll stick that winner in the come on in bowl and we'll be done because they don't care.
So this is where I gotta, I mean, someone actually posted this about the incoming members of the Big 12.
That's right.
And what now you have 5 schools, 5 teams that have been to the mountaintop in the Big 12, right? Group of 5 schools, nonetheless, but UCF has done it. Cincinnati is doing it right now. Houston, are you kidding me? So what is coming? TCU, right? TCU has been there. So let's not discount this Big 12, the new Big 12. The ACC,
Little 12.
Clemson and Florida State have some work. When I tell you they've got some work to do, because
Clemson is in a much better place right now than FSU. FSU's got. I witnessed them firsthand this past weekend. It's pretty bad.
Can I just say before we exit the college football topic, whoever wins the ACC game is tied to, I believe, the Orange Bowl.
Yes.
By definition. So get ready, folks. It's the ACC champ versus Cincinnati in the Orange Bowl. Don't say I didn't tell you. That's how disrespectful they're going to be to Cincinnati. They're going to lock them out and send them to the Orange Bowl. Bet.
Governor, can you tell me who your pick was for the Big Ten? I missed it.
I definitely have.
Michigan.
I have Michigan for sure.
Okay,
yes.
I missed it. Sorry,
yes.
I've got this down. This will be tweetable.
You have all
Saturday
of our picks?
Morning. I do have all of the picks. You know how I?
Oh wait, I didn't pick an ACC because nobody cares. Do we have to pick that one?
You did. You said
completely
Cincinnati.
glossed over that.
No, the ACC.
Not the
it's not the ACC.
Nobody. We're not picking that.
No, we're not
Literally,
picking
nobody
the ACC under protest.
Can we pick the shadow of Clemson is the default ACC winner?
Oh man.
What's next, Chu? What we got?
I
What we got?
know. Well, as if that wasn't turmoil enough, let's throw some more gas in this fire. The World Athletics has decided on who their athlete of the years are for the males and the females. If you haven't seen this posted, if you haven't seen it announced, the awards have been given to Elaine Thompson-Herah as well as Karsten Warholm. Warholm. Now I understand the name, so my apologies, Mr. Lamar. It was not in context for me. So I find it interesting, entertaining enough that as I was reading that topic, all of your facial expressions changed. So let's give light to those reactions.
Go ahead.
And I'll go first because I'm going to be very brief. And I just want to say, first of all, congratulations to Ariane Knighton and I think Mo
Yes.
for being the rising star
The future.
recipients, the future of the sport.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Sports, and so they got that right. That's all they got right. But with me, it's clearly there's opinions, there's bias. Not sure how you ever discount what Ryan Krauser did. Totally disrespectful to that man, in my opinion. I mean, there's an argument for Elaine here. I'm not sure that I would have rocked with that argument. But at the end of the day, same thing we just talked about with the college football playoff. You get a group of people in the room, they're considered the experts, they make the decision. It's about as laughable as what the Bowerman is, in my opinion. So, and I'm done.
Oh, shots at the alphabet crew. I like it. I like it.
I fired those shots directly. Trust me, I have. So.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Do y'all want me to go next?
But please.
I mean, I feel like that was an
You're
ask.
jumping through the screen, so please.
I know.
He
Let me
turned
turn
his
my
head to
hat
the back.
around
Here we go.
and get. Okay, so
As long as you keep your shirt on.
Elaine winning is wrong but defensible. Wrong in my opinion, but it's just that, an opinion. But the argument is defensible. No question about it, right? If we ask 100 people, we'll probably be 60-40, okay. So I'm not going to delve any time into that. Congratulations to Elaine.
I missed that episode. So if not Elaine, who should have won?
Well, we had some debate.
Yes.
I think Hassan was the, we'll say, panel favorite as a group.
Gotcha.
I actually think that Sir Lucious picked Elaine, but didn't think she was going to win. Like, meaning he wanted her to win, but didn't think she was going to win.
Yeah.
And I think I was kind of in a similar boat. I wanted Sid to win, right? But I figured Hassan was going to win. That kind of deal. That's where we're at with that, right? Those arguments are defensible. What is indefensible? Now, look, we'll start with this. There are people who are going to watch this episode and say, well, Huffins is a field event guy and, he's biased and yet, okay. Let's say that that's true. Let's take all opinions out of it and let's just look at facts. The very, very best season you can possibly have in any discipline is 1, win every competition you're in. Check. 2, do something unprecedented. Check. 3, if your event is contested indoors and out, break the indoor world record and the outdoor world record. Check, check. There's nothing else on the list. So by not awarding the award for this season as the athlete of the year to Ryan Krauser, what you are simply saying is field eventers need not apply because you cannot win the award. Because the man literally had a perfect season. He did not lose. He won the Diamond League. He won every Diamond League competition that he was in. He broke the world record indoors, broke the world record and the Olympic record outdoors, and won the Olympic gold medal. Did he not sell enough popcorn? Like, it's indefensible. Carson Warholm had the performance of the year, decade, maybe of the sport. Sure, maybe. If you're in that group that Carson Warholm's 45.9 is the greatest thing's ever happened in track, awesome. The award is for the athlete of the year for the season. And if you win every competition you're in and you're the best at the discipline ever, indoors and out, if you don't win, they're telling you you can't win. The award is unwinnable at this point if you're a field eventer. And I just think that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I just think like it's indefensible. And if I was Ryan Krauser, I know he's not, I will be inconsolable because at the end of the day, how can you win everything and yet still lose?
Governor, if you don't mind,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you to be the ending voice of reason for whichever side you fall on, because Lamar gave such a beautiful argument there. I actually have to rebut him on principle. He said the Warholm over Krauser is indefensible. Well, allow me to defend it. All of your finger checks that you threw out, 100% are true and 100% apply to Carson Warholm as well.
Nope.
With one exception, the indoor issue, because his event doesn't exist indoors. All the rest of the checks, Warholm and Krauser are identical. So maybe the decision makers looked at that and said, well, you can't punish Warholm for something he doesn't have an opportunity to accomplish. So how do we split this hair? We can split this hair by peak of performance. And let me be clear, if not for Carson Warholm, I might argue that Ryan Krauser's top performances are the best we've ever seen in the sport. But Carson Warholm exists. And that performance was the greatest spectacle we have ever seen, full stop. And as I said earlier, when we were discussing the possibilities of who could win this award, for me, the separator between the two is very simple. Who did you beat? Carson Warholm had a higher degree of difficulty because his competition was also unlike anything we've ever seen in the sport.
Can I pause you right there?
Yeah.
You asked, who did you beat? Ryan Krauser beat two drug-busted shot putters, one indoors and one outdoors.
Cool.
That's who he beat.
I get it. I'm not here to take anything away from Ryan Krauser. Ryan Krauser is phenomenal. Ryan, you are right to say and feel this is a shot at field event athletes you may not even apply. I feel that. I'm not even mad at that. It's a great argument. It's, to me, it almost feels like one of these Oscar years where your favorite actor puts on a beautiful performance, maybe an all-time performance, but damn, you ran up against somebody else that was just as good and had just the same moment. Ryan Krauser did everything perfect, and so did Carson Warholm. Warholm did it against better competition. And I think that's why he won. On the women, I agree with y'all. I personally thought for the same principles that Hassan should have been it.
Yep.
Because what she did has never been seen before. Yep. Those 3 events specifically at the Olympics. I mean, you know, props to Elaine. You know, you look at the paper, you look at the career, Elaine's the GOAT. Like, you can't even deny it at this point. But what Hassan did was more impressive and harder for me. So I would have rolled with Hassan. They got the newcomers of the year right. I don't even see how that was a debate if it ever was for anybody. So I turn it over to the governor. I'm not mad at the war home issue. I can defend it.
So I went through a couple of emotions once I saw the result. And what is obvious, okay, and the thing that has to be considered in all of this is that the fans had a say. The fans had a vote, okay? What Warholm did is akin to what Bolt did in Berlin, okay? And it will never be forgotten. I don't know if it will ever be recreated. I'm sure Mr. Benjamin has something up his sleeve. I cannot wait to see what happens, injuries notwithstanding. So I came to an understanding that, okay, for the moment, for the event, for the magnitude of everything that we witnessed in Tokyo, I mean, we will remember where we were. But for me, and I'm sure for Lamar, okay, we both, even you, Clyde, we come from a period of time where we're used to people being rewarded for the entirety of your season. When you think about when Mr. Krauser started in Arkansas and unleashed that bomb in Arkansas, and what he has done throughout the entire year, there is no, I mean, we're going to be sitting back and trying to figure out how this man stayed there over and over and over. This, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Mike Powell and how mad Mike Powell would be when Carl would run like 4 times, jump like 4 times, and end the year #1 ranked in the world. And he'd be like, I'm jumping 30 times. I'm out there killing myself. And here comes Carl. I'll just jump when I'm ready. But every time I jump, I'm on the jump 860 plus, right? What Warholm did, it will never be forgotten. And the fans, I think, rewarded him for that. But you cannot discount what Mr. Krauser did. I mean, kudos to that man for excellence for the entire year, not just part of the year, not just, you know, let me get a warm-up meet, let me go to the Olympics, drop a bomb, let me call it a day. No, I'm talking from indoors all the way out. I mean, insane.
And see, my only question would be about the Warholm deal is, you know, we talk about his great competition. That was a great competition on that day because he didn't like run those guys all year long.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. You know, like he had a lot of setup races where he was set up in a lane and set out to do things. Okay. So from that vein, he had that one race, which goes back to free Ryan Krauser, goes back to his point of, right, it was a performance. So what that performance was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody can ever take that away. You're right, Governor. We will always remember where we were when that happened. I don't know how we discount what Ryan Krauser started doing in February or late January, whenever it was, and continued throughout the year against all comers.
Insane.
You know?
Insane.
So let me add a cherry to Ryan Krauser's, the difficulty of Ryan Krauser's season. We've beat to death the Diamond League format, right? So Ryan Krauser was winning through 5 rounds in every single one of those meets. still had to win the last round and not foul in every single one of those to win all of those competitions.
Yep.
Right? You don't have to do that in races.
That's true.
Just go win.
That's very
You
good.
have to win twice. Because basically Ryan Krause had to win twice on every one of those.
And I think there's some validity to the fact that Ryan's stuck over in the corner someplace.
Sure.
He's doing these things and the crowd doesn't sing. So that goes back to the governor's point about the fan. You know, they don't see, you know, and how many fans are really looking at it, understanding the shot put? Right?
Yeah. Now let me say to that point, and this is a direct shot at the Alphabet Crew. I don't know how much influence the fan vote has, but I don't care if we're talking about World Athletics Athlete of the Year, Alphabet Crew's Bowerman Award, NBA All-Star Games, whatever. The fans should have no power in any of this. If you want to do a Twitter poll, take it. That's cute. Give them a Twitter award. But I'm sorry, we all know that there's an amazing amount
with the
of
Alphabet Alphabet Crew. It's worth one vote.
Yeah,
it's just one
no
vote.
vote.
So like you
should get you a Twitter award.
But I'm just so my problem. If we're gonna get on this Alphabet Crew deal, like they just don't get it. Like it was a wonderful idea in the beginning, but they become lazy and they don't even pay attention to what they're doing. Like they had people on the list last year who weren't even competing anymore. And again, if we're talking about a body of work, indoors and outdoors, it's like the athlete of the year. If a guy turns pro after the indoor season, why is he still on the list? You know, we had a young man that was top 10 all time, top 3 all time indoors in an event and top 4 outdoors on the event, and he was never in the top 10. But there was a guy in the top 10 that didn't even compete outdoors. You know, we've had people win this award, and it's the same thing. They sit in this room and they decide who they think are the best. Right?
I need to get a ticket into all of these rooms. Because
that's all you should get for the fan vote, right there. That's all you should get.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I could sit down in a and have a beer with Sebco, man, it'd be one of the more memorable conversations he ever listened to because he wouldn't get a word in edgewise.
But see, my thing is this: is like there's just got to be a better process, and if you're gonna put people in these positions, at least I'm gonna go back on the Alphabet Crew. Like they got to do better, right? They got to do better. It's just the process is just wrong.
I think both levels should have a performance
ask.
And a performer of the year. I think both levels should have a performance and a performer of the year.
Yeah.
I want to ask, not to drag this out, because Warholm won all his Diamond League races as well. And all the 400 hurdlers minus Rye Benjamin were in all those races. So it's not like he wasn't. But here's the thing. Would we have preferred to see them be soft about it and do a split winner?
Normally I would say absolutely not, but in this particular case, this is like one of the few times where a tie actually made some sense.
Mm-hmm. I'm with that. I wouldn't have been. I think I'm usually, I hate that. I consider it a chicken shit thing to do most times. But in this one, I think that would have been the right thing to do.
Yeah. And if we're gonna look, if we're
I got money that says if they called it a tie, free Ryan Krauser would still be free Ryan Krauser tonight. I got money that says that.
I mean, you're probably right.
Probably.
I'll own that. I'll just say this: like, look, if we're really gonna fix it, you can't compare apples to kumquats in the first place, and there needs to be a field event athlete of the year and a track event athlete of the year.
Yeah, there you
go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because then you don't end up with this impossible nonsense, right? Like, I can't even empirically say that Ryan Krauser's season was better than Warholm's, other than for the reasons I just said it, right? But at the end of the day, like, if neither one of them lost, right? And you're comparing a 400 hurdler to a shot putter, like, but it ain't that way. And I said this several weeks ago, right? There's always going to be a European bias. There's always going to be a track bias, and Warholm was going to win, and I was going to be mad. I said that a month ago. This
is the thing. I just know what that Randy Barnes record means.
Yeah.
That's like, I know what that means. I grew up in that era, so I know you break Randy Barnes record. Like the young generation has no idea like what that means. Like, I don't know. I've been in the sport too long.
See, because what Randy did is akin to what Warholm just did, right? We thought we'd never see anybody break it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
Well, let's get even crazier, because if you thought we were done, but wait, there's more. So we got a lot of letters to spew out on this one. USATF is now under investigation from the FBI in regards to the relationship of their finances and Nike. I'm going to leave that lofted in the air for one of you to just take a swing at and comment.
I'm going to be short and sweet. If I could give a sound effect to reading today's article, it would be Desi Arnaz yelling at Lucille Ball, "Lucy, you have some splaining to do." Because I read that article and I was like, listen, I've met Max Siegel once. He didn't seem like a shady cat. It's USATF. I think they're inept about a lot of things, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I thought they were like crazy underhanded. And then I read the article and I was like, listen, you ain't ever going to piss on my head and tell me it's raining. There's too many facts laid out for you to ignore. This ain't a conspiracy theory. And I'm going to say this one more caveat and pass it on to y'all. Every one of y'all know if the FBI does an investigation, they already have the answer. They're just trying to collect the proof.
Whew.
The FBI they don't do fishing expeditions. They know the answer. They're just trying to unearth all the proof so that y'all know.
Yeah, I read the article. I like to read things. And I honestly, when I opened it, because of the publication that put it out, I didn't expect too much in it. Oh, it's a lot in there.
It's a lot in there.
And when I started to read it, I was like, okay, whatever. By the end of it, I'm like, well, shit, that's not good. And, because, the current FBI and the current Justice Department are currently being run by professionals again, I imagine that this ain't gonna end too well for some folks. And I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy reading the facts, because man, that it doesn't look good, it doesn't sound good, it definitely doesn't read good for the principles
I learned some
involved.
things today. Did you learn some things today?
I learned a few things. Yeah,
I learned a few things today.
And it's weird, at least for me. It's weird when you read things in this kind of context about people that you clearly are not friends with, but that in real life.
Yeah, that
like
in
people
real
that
life.
You've had legitimate conversations with. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, that's not good. So, if you haven't read it, it's definitely worth the time to read. Most definitely is worth the time to read.
I just want to throw this in there, right? Like, whether everybody will go read it or not, like some of it's going to be just highlights. Just know this part. There was a deal done between a nonprofit and a company, and the two people that proctored the deal used to work for the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, not knowing anybody's name or anybody company or anything, doesn't that sound wrong?
Well,
Or at least questionable?
essentially, it just makes sure that the deal gets done.
No,
That's like
question.
walking up, sitting at the bargaining table across from two former employees.
I mean, I'm just saying.
So guys, are we going to get this deal done? Yeah. Yes.
I mean, look, real quick baseball analogy. Jacob deGrom's agent was Brody Van Wagenen. Brody Van Wagenen got hired as the Mets general manager, and then a month later, they did Jacob deGrom's extension. Oh, okay, got it. That was tough. So, Brody, what do you think you should get? Well, I don't know, Brody. What? Yeah. What you got? What you got, Sir Lucious?
I got nothing. Nothing at all.
It's like, he's like, my name is Paul.
Yeah. All I'm gonna say is this: is that the truth will come to light, and when it does, we'll let it shine brightly. That's all I gotta say.
I'll add this because I failed to get something in on the last one that I wanted to add in there. I'll say this. I'm always a little just like, come on, man, really? When people in these type of crimes, because it's not official yet, there's a crime, right? There's an investigation of what could be a crime. Like, the arrogance of these type of issues always just astounds me. Like, if you weren't that arrogant about the way you move, you probably wouldn't land in the situations that you land yourselves in. And it always blows my mind how people in these positions just obliviously just do whatever it is they think they can do. Like, it's wild to me. It really is.
You know what I thought was most damning? The direct numerical comparison between track and field and swimming.
Yes, the compensation packages.
The compensation packages for the CEOs of the two, for all intents and purposes, identical NGBs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean. Like, you gotta, if you're gonna do some kickbacks, you gotta be smarter than that. Like,
I mean, right? Like, you need some Lincoln Riley. You gotta hide some money. Look, we're gonna buy your house at $1.5 million over asking. Nobody will see that. You'll be good.
Right. No.
So I don't think we have much more to add to this. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry for the revert, but I was trying to pull this up because I instinctually felt like that might be a part of the ultimate decision making on the Athlete of the Year. We all know that World Athletics likes to create things and then find interesting ways to justify what they created, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just understand this. The current world ranking structure that we are all operating on, Ryan Krauser's world ranking score is 1553 and Karsten Warholm's is 1559. So by definition of their world ranking system, the right man won the award. We all know I don't like the world ranking system.
Who made up the system?
But
Exactly.
like I said, I just said, I don't like the system. But
so
based on their system, they gave the award to the appropriate
I
person.
am not sure why you chose to go back down that road because
y'all didn't know that just like I didn't know it.
No. So here's the thing. Y'all didn't care. We didn't care.
No, we didn't.
Look, because based on that, they can say what they want. It's not changing anybody's mind on these screens. Ryan's a better guy. Yeah.
Well, this you might care about, sir. On that point, the ranking thing, Grant Holloway should have been in the ranking.
Well, we knew that.
Oh god.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when you want to expose some
Okay,
bull-
but why do
You
think
are
I
a
get-
scab picker tonight. That's what you are.
Okay, see that's that. There's no scab there.
that wasn't a
Yeah,
shot
but-
at the man. We on the
I
same
know it's
page.
not a shot at the man. Listen, you already know I was the most irritated person on the screen
You already
about
said. Exactly. So, anyways, Chew, what do we have next, man? Because I'm big league. What you got for us, baby girl?
Well, so not even once upon a time, we wrote a whole novel about the coaching carousel within track and field. Well, guess what? Now another sport has a turn on the wheel. And it's not just one turn, it's about a kabillion turns, right? So if you haven't been privy to ESPN or any type of media outlet, NCAA football has now joined the carousel. And their carousel is moving very fast. I see it like this.
Mhm.
And you can get just flung off at any moment. So let's
That's because
chime
it's
in.
generated by money.
I mean,
Exactly.
hence the
Yes.
quarters.
Exactly.
They
It's
got
gas,
silver
not
dollars.
money.
They got
Yeah,
silver
yeah,
dollars, not
yeah.
quarters.
Exactly.
So
I know
before we
$100 bills into this one. There's no quarters in this one.
before we embark on this conversation, and I'm excited about this one for all of y'all because I just want to hear y'all's opinions. But before we embark on this, I need to say this one thing. I've been thinking this for forever, and Scott Van Pelt said it last night. Asking for there to be a moratorium on coaching changes when your team still has a conference championship or a national championship still in the mix is like asking for common sense in a room full of crazy people.
Mhm.
It would make too much sense to do that,
Mhm.
which is one of the reasons it's never going to happen. Like, it would make too much sense because all these people can wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They can all wait that long. But I digress. Let's get into this.
So
I mean, look, I honestly don't have that much to say about this other than we all chose the wrong profession. Because let's be clear about this. And
Stole my line, brother.
you ain't never
mean
lied.
this.
Never lied.
And I mean this. There is nothing from strength and conditioning to X's and O's that these people do that we couldn't do. We just had a different passion, and damn it, we have the cheap passion, clearly. Because, my goodness. As far as the movement, look, I have a big problem with anybody. Lincoln Riley is catching a lot of heat for his exit, right? My attitude
But he
is,
shouldn't.
Look, and Brian Kelly is too, but here's my thing. My attitude is this.
He should.
If you have not ever been offered $90 million to do a thing, $110 million to do a thing, then your opinion don't really mean nothing to me. Because I'm going to tell you what, there's not a lot on this earth I wouldn't do for $90 to $110 million. So, you know, where the part of it that I don't like is when I just wish the coaches would just step to the mic and be like, kiss my ass, I took the money. Because that's all it was. Let's be real about it. All the rest of that is just PR. Like, I ain't mad at it, man. Do what you got to do. I assure you, if somebody calls me today and offers me $90 million, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. It is what it is. So, you know, I don't begrudge the coaches moving. And this is why, for all the pitfalls of it, I will never be upset at the transfer portal, because this thing happens with coaches. And if the coaches can snap their fingers and dip, then damn it, that players should be able to snap their fingers and dip too. That's the only fair way to do it. I'm good with it. I don't have a problem with none of this.
You know, I'm just going to say this, that there's always a backstory to all this stuff, and everybody wants to know, well, why would Lincoln Riley want to leave? Why would Kelly want to leave? Why would so and so want to leave? Who knows what was going on behind the scenes? But clearly, obviously, money is a big part of it. But I also got to believe because people want to win, right? So Lincoln Riley clearly thinks he got a better chance of winning Oklahoma at USC does Oklahoma, and he might be right. Okay,
He's right.
Brian Kelly has a better chance of winning at LSU than he does at Notre Dame, right? So at the end of the day, LSU's. I know we're gonna do that with you right now. Yeah. LSU's won 2 or 3 since the last time Notre Dame won one, but we won't digress. But at the end of the day, I'm a coach, and I want to win. And if someone called me and offered me $110 million to go someplace where I thought I could do better than where I was, I'm out. Okay. So it's just that simple. But I don't get this, oh, they shouldn't do this. Okay. So then now you same folks are upset with these coaches. When these players start jumping in the portal at, next month or next week in some cases, then be mad at them as well. It's a free country, free to do what you want. And I don't ever know how you get upset with somebody for creating generational wealth for their family. So.
Yeah. Is it my turn?
Yes, absolutely your turn.
So like here's my take on this. Fan is short for fanatic. Part of being fanatic means you don't think clearly. I get it. I get why the fans are mad. They're stupid. They're blinded about their own personal wins on Saturday. Like, my team needs to be good and I need to feel the victory of OU, Notre Dame, whatever. Because the reality is really simple. Let's take the names and the money out of it. You make X. Someone comes to you and says, would you like to make 10 times X? And we will, more than, but we'll call it 10 times X. And we will buy your car for twice what it's worth. And we'll give you money to send your kids to college. Whatever your job was, you're going to say yes. So at the end of the day, like, the OU fans are delusional. Because this isn't even about loyalty. First of all, like, nobody should have to be loyal to a system that's not loyal to them. College coaches get fired with winning records in every sport, certainly in football. Ask my man in Nebraska that had a 10-year winning record, got fired, and they've watched the hot dumpster fire follow behind him. But Lincoln Riley, listen, do all of y'all remember when they offered John Gruden 10 years, $100 million, and we were all like, oh my God? They offered him more.
Mm-hmm.
They offered him 10 years, $100 million plus some things that are, listen, 24/7 access to a private jet that's uncalculable. I don't know what that's worth.
$6 million home.
Right?
Right.
No. Bought you a home in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone the $6 million home, the Bel Air spot. But they bought you a home in Los Angeles where it's almost impossible to buy a home, right? The fact that they also bought your other 2 homes for $1 million over asking, like,
yes.
What are we talking about? Nothing. The only guy in this mix who's changed jobs, and look, when the Cincinnati guy gets offered a job that he probably deserves, right? If he gets offered, one of the big jobs that's open, if he does, good for him. That's the whole reason you go to Cincinnati. Go win. That's what Brian Kelly did. Go win at Cincinnati, and then somebody bigger will pay you. Like, I get it. Brian Kelly's exit is understandable but deplorable in the timing of it. Him leaving Notre Dame to go to LSU makes sense everywhere. I don't know where anybody on this planet thinks that the LSU football brand is not a better current football brand
Mhm.
than Notre Dame. And most importantly, it's to the constituency. If you ask the kids who are being recruited, sight unseen, doesn't matter who the coach is, would you rather go play at LSU or rather go play at Notre Dame? They're almost all going to say LSU. So I get why he left. But the system is broken to where at least the NFL gets this right. If your team's still playing for something meaningful, you can't interview for jobs. Brian Kelly is going to be LSU's guy, no matter what. They obviously love him. But it's wrong for Brian Kelly to be put in the position where he has to choose between the generational wealth of the LSU job or finishing the mission he started with his 110 football kids this year. Because let's be clear, all of us would have probably taken the bag at LSU. But he's put in a horrible situation because the system allows for this to happen in this time progression.
See, I would argue that the system causes the problem because
Sure.
what's about to start? Recruiting.
Yes.
And you can't recruit if you don't have a head coach. So the system is the problem.
Sure.
And that's
No question.
the reason that's the reason it happened right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like that's the reason
And-
Lincoln Riley was in LA on Fox Air and shooting promo videos fight on within 24 hours of the announcement because he got to go
Yes.
to football games in SoCal now. That's exactly why.
What I thought was awesome which was Clyde level petty, was Lincoln Riley got on the plane wearing OU gear and got off the plane wearing SC gear, and I thought that was hilarious.
And they
fact that he
probably
still-
had
The fact that he still had on OU J's on his feet was even funnier.
Mm-hmm.
and we all know they probably had, given the tenets of the deal, they probably had the Coming to America flower girls on the plane waiting on them to change it. You know what I
For
mean?
Oh,
Bathtub and all.
Lord.
So
For sure.
it is what
Governor,
it is.
Governor, what do you have to lend some sanity to this before it gets out of control? Please.
Tangent. No, the profession of head coach in the NCAA is the most sweetheart deal. I don't think, I mean, is there anything like this? Because let's call it what it is. So our head coach is allowed to have agents.
Yep.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So if you have an agent working for you and your agent calls you up after you've just lost the Big 12 championship game and says, hey, I need to talk to you like right now, and proceeds to tell you this deal that's on the table, but you have to take this deal now. Where do I sign? I mean,
The phone call goes like this. Governor, are you good? Yes.
Yes, I'm good. I'm good.
We are going to Los Angeles for
So-
you to sign this deal.
So
That's how the
so this-
conversation goes.
I remember where this all started. This started right after UTSA was 8-0 or 9-0, and Texas Tech fires their head coach. And for a week, we are going through moving to the American, being nationally ranked for the first time in our history, and oh, by the way, Texas Tech is calling. And it was like all at the same time, like, yes, all at the same time. Like everybody, like you walked in the building and everyone was on pins and needles because it was just like, how long is this going to last? Right? And this is what it is. This is what it is. Money talks, period. Right? But to get to this point and what we've just experienced in the last 72 hours, I mean, you can't even enjoy or wallow in your self-pity. You've just lost the game to go to the championship game. But hey, we need you to make a decision like right now. Like right now. and we need you to get as much rest as you can, take some naps in between interviews, but hey, we got to move, and we're moving now. So
I just don't want people to forget Brian Kelly gave Notre Dame 12 years.
Yeah.
And they were a
He's
mess.
the
winningest coach in
he's the
Notre Dame
winningest
history.
coach in Notre Dame history.
Yes.
Right. So, hey,
You
man,
know.
like, he don't really owe y'all nothing.
Okay, and so and back to the allure of the LSU job, the Mad Hatter and Coach O both won national titles there.
Right. So here's the other side. Here's the other side. Because the question that we have that we can probably answer quite quickly, will both of those coaches make it to the end of that 10-year contract?
Brian Kelly will.
You think
Brian
he will?
Kelly will. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He will.
Well, I mean, what?
Like you just said, he was at
question,
LSU for 12.
Yes. Right.
And nobody's gonna come in and pay him $120 million.
Okay. So what if he doesn't meet the standards that they want? And that's what I'm getting at. Right?
Yeah, I think Kelly.
You have to look at the parameters of his deal. That's will keep him there.
So
right.
All I'm
I
saying
think
is
I
this.
think the Tiki Torch crew will come for Brian Kelly way before they come for Nico Ryan.
For who?
So my point
That's
is
funny
this.
that you say that. I completely disagree.
I disagree.
SC has come. Listen,
yeah, they come for everybody.
SC fired a football coach.
You're a California guy. You know how y'all are there. Come on.
SC pulled the football coach off the bus on the tarmac. Sent the bus back to campus.
Rightfully so.
So all I'm saying is this: whether it happens or not, okay? And it's funny because a tweet just popped up. Tom Herman can return to the stress of being a college football coach or have UT pay him $6.5 million in 2022 and $6.75 million in 2023 to hang out in Chicago, work as an analyst with the Bears, spend weekends with his family. Yeah, Herman's going in direct deposit.
The best lick in America. And if you don't understand that terminology, go to Urban Dictionary. The best lick in America is get the college football head coaching job and screw it up. So you can go kick it.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
100%. Charlie Weiss was getting paid by Notre Dame and Kansas.
That's right.
For like 7 years.
Yep. Phil Fulmer. I mean, Phil Fulmer is still at Tennessee. Okay. I mean, it's I don't know. It's just insanity, man. It's insanity. And the question that we have to wonder is, where is the ceiling? Where are we going with this? So we've now cracked 10 million a year, right? We're there now.
Ceiling. Wait, listen, the NCAA convention is coming up in January. Ain't no ceilings, brother. Ain't no ceilings.
So, yeah.
That's so crazy. So crazy. Well, we've successfully made it through all of our topics without completely dismantling our screens or throwing something. So with that said, I am going to invite Sir Lucious into the line of fire for rapid fire this evening. In my holiday spirit, I feel like this is a lighter subject or a lighter line.
May I ask you a question, please?
Oh, yes.
You behave yourself, please.
Yes, this actually is a good one. It's actually a good one. So, well, it's safe. It's rated G.
Because Clyde knows you like to come from my neck, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
See, the governor, you don't know this, but like she gets very suspect with some of her questions.
Okay.
No, good.
Indeed.
This is a good one, I think.
Make it rapid, Chu. Make it rapid.
Yes. Here we go. What is the most old man-ist thing that you do?
fall asleep when I sit down in a chair.
I like it. In the 200-meter hurdle race, who's going to win, Grant or Rye?
Really?
No
Really?
comment.
Okay, I'll move on.
No comment.
Assuming that you were going to say that, I'm going to make you pick Dennis Rodman or Chris Anderson, aka Birdman.
Rodman.
Got it. Do you know what your astrological sign is?
Scorpio.
Okay, got it. Which seat on the bus is yours?
The second one on the right when you get on.
So
So if I'm walking down
the
the
bus
aisle,
driver's
it's
side.
on my right. It's on the bus driver's side. It's the second one on the
Okay.
right.
Got
Off limits.
Behind the
it.
whirlpool.
And I don't share no matter who's on the bus with me. That's my seat.
I feel like that was a jab at wifey.
Not at all. Like, she has her own seat. Like, come on, but, yeah.
I love it. What is your favorite Thanksgiving food remix?
Oh wow. See, this year it was the yams and the mac and cheese. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like I literally went back for seconds. There was no meat on my plate. It was yams and mac and cheese. It was delicious.
That's awesome.
Definitely been that person a number of times. So, see, you survived. Rated G. Now I'm going to leave it to the gentleman to muck it up.
Who's the best team in the country, sir?
Who's the best team in the country? University of Georgia.
All right.
See, that's so funny. I thought he was going to be super petty and say Florida track and field. For whatever reason, that's what I thought was coming.
See,
And I
you
wouldn't
know,
even been mad at that.
and so you understand, I don't have to be petty because I have very petty friends.
He doesn't have to be petty because he's got those rings. It says it for itself.
I mean,
Focus, sir.
So,
Focus.
okay,
Focus. Give that man
Governor and questions, please.
You want me to go?
go for it, Governor. Yes, sir.
Okay. This is more based on University of Florida. Your favorite color uniform that your team wears?
Wow, you would do that, wouldn't you? Actually, it's the white one. It's the one piece where it's the white up top and the blue in the bottom. It's got the big gator here.
Oh yes. But
Yeah, that's
some
my
of the
favorite one.
greatest moments in Florida history were in those white uniforms. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, as my man Curtis likes to say, when Florida shows up white, you know they're right. When they show up in white, you know they're right.
Yes, indeed.
And so you were here for some of that, weren't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Free Ryan Krauser. What's up, bro?
Oh man. I'm trying to be kind and stay in the same realm as everybody else because you know the problem is I know too much about you. Let's do a simple one. You can only coach one event for the remainder of your coaching career. Just one. I won't say which gender. You can do both genders. You can only coach one event. What is it?
Oh man, I don't like you.
I know.
It's a toss up between the hurdles and the 400.
Hurdles or long hurdles?
Here you come. The short hurdles and the 400, because the 400 and the 400 hurdles are the same for me. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with the short hurdles because I'm having a lot of fun with those. So short hurdles.
Okay.
I don't know why.
See, like I said, I don't have to be petty because I have petty friends. So heartbeat prop sign.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna go because with my first Power 5 meet week happening, bless our equipment people and every equipment person out there. because we send you email after email after email, and every email is different. And sometimes you get the same email from 5 different people, and I know you want to throw things at us. So all of the equipment people out there, our guy Victor, love you all. You all rock for dealing with all 20-something teams or whoever you have to manage.
I've been thinking about this one all day, and I've decided on this one. My heartbeat props go to someone I have no idea if he watches the show, but my heartbeat props go to the gentleman who is single-handedly responsible for bringing me out of retirement, and more importantly, rekindling my love, my everyday love for coaching and for the sport of track and field. And that is one Mr. Lyndon Victor. Watch what soon come, folks. Watch what soon come.
Nice, nice.
I'll go. Mine is more general this week. As we all know, I'm a political junkie. And if you haven't been paying attention, after 50 years of struggle, the Supreme Court is now debating or listening to arguments debating the validity of ultimately what boils down to the Roe v. Wade challenge that the conservative right has found a way to finagle and get before this very specific version of the Supreme Court. It doesn't look good for how this thing will end for women in this country, not because the people arguing the Mississippi side of the case have the better argument. They absolutely don't. Their arguments are actually ridiculous. But a lot of people feel that this ruling is ultimately stacked in the favor and done on purpose. I'm really hoping that that's not the case. I'm really hoping that these people who spent a lifetime trying to, in their careers trying to become judges, find a moment to actually listen to the arguments and choose not to set us back 50 years, not to set women's reproductive health and all the progress that women have made in this country in every space, because they have the right to choose and self-determine their own bodies. I hope that they find some wisdom and do the right thing here. I don't actually think that's going to happen, but just because in this moment I have to root for the better side of humanity, I'm hoping that these people find some integrity and do what's right here. But we'll see.
Hey, Governor.
Oh, so much to think about. I mean, my heartbeat props go out to my kids, and every now and then I have to stop and think about what my 10-year-old and 8-year-old have to navigate through. And it's not something that's necessarily like in your face, but I mean, it's real. Like and it's not something that I can even sit down and explain to them. I'm just kind of watching how they're dealing with this life that we live, and thinking about how naive and how, just when you talk about just waking up every day with, no particular plan and purpose or anything like that, and going through your day as a kid that we experienced. And that is no longer the case. That's no longer the case. And especially having 2 beautiful Black girls, I have to really, give them props, because they are thriving, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to see them take on the challenges in a classroom, in sports, and that's, that's heartwarming to me, because it makes me feel like whatever it is that my parents passed on to me, I am now passing on to them, and they're taking that knowledge and they're doing something with it. That's it. That's all I have to say.
I'm saying that's why you're the governor. So I'm this whole thing with the carousel with college football just got me a little pensive this weekend, and I started thinking about the effect it has on these coaches' families. And I don't think if it's a bad situation and people get fired, it's always bad. And even when it's a good situation and people get millions of dollars, wives are forced to leave behind friends. The children are forced to leave behind friends, and their lives are uprooted. So my heartbeat props goes to those people, the wives who now have to piece things together and get the house packed up and move forward. The children who have had their lives uprooted and now they have to go someplace new and start new friends. So kudos to them. All the best as you move on to your new lives, and hope it goes well.
Great words by everyone this week. So definitely. For all of you traveling, listening on the bus, maybe listening in the hotel, best wishes, safe travel, run fast, throw far, jump high. I know that was a little off. So have a great weekend. We'll see you all soon. Good night, everyone.
Lincoln Riley, let me hold something.
Gosh.
Birds up.
When the lights come on, the road just get to running. When the lights come on, opponents smash the plumbing. Heard you like it warm, hot, knife the butter. Truth pin them hard, knock them off that rebuttal. Tsunami, tidal wave to your puddle. Tough love, punch you in the arms, little brothers. Athletics LLC, there's no others. Track and field's place, we'll peel to go further. Hey, Wally, Coyote, it's road runners. Feels like you know us, you've been with us the whole summer. If not for this quarantine, these four corners wouldn't be here, but we here, so start learning. You gotta earn your stripes, gotta get your scars. Show you how to fight, but show us who you are. You lack experience, but still you wanna talk. And who is actually talking to you? Circle's kinda small. Heads prevail when the backbone's strong. Gotta keep it coming, no, it won't last long. Pass and fail, then sell the sad song. And if you don't check yourself, then that's wrong. Just trying to give you the real that you asked for. So why you keep cutting us off to ask more? We put it in slow-mo, but you fast forward. Athletics LLC, the task force.